In this video I'm going to show you both of the solos out of Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, and before that I'm going to show you the chords. So here goes. I'm going to run through them slightly quicker than the song, and we're in the key of B minor, so I'll shout out the chord names as we get to them. So here goes. B minor, A, G, E minor, B minor. Now that sequence repeats 3 times. A, G, E minor, B minor. And again, B minor, A. Check out the passing note. G, F sharp, E minor. It's just a 1-note passing note. Chorus now. D, A, D, A. I'll show you that chord in a minute. C, G, C, G, then to D, A, D, A, passing chord again, C, G, C, G. Now we're at the end. A, C, G, D. Okay, if you followed that, the passing chord that we were doing from the A to the C was what we would call a G over B. That'd be written with a G slash, and then underneath it would be a B. So instead of going A, G, C, the bass goes up, A, B, C. So we go, so we're still playing the G chord, but instead of putting the G in the bass, we're playing the B in the bass. So it's A, B, C. Just the bass goes A, B, C, but the chord goes A, G, C. The other bit of chords I have to show you is the intro, which starts off with a B minor and then goes to a B for that slide. So we start in B minor and then B, and then back to B minor for the verse. So the first solo we're going to look at is in a major key. It's in the key of D, because basically the chorus is in the key of D and the verse is in the key of B minor. So the first solo is in the key of D and the second solo is in the key of B minor. They're essentially the same key, but different tonal centre. We're starting on D major, so here goes with the solo. Before I run through it, or well, I'm going to run through it, but before you listen to me run through it, check out the original record and then listen to me do it and watch me do it. And but keep whilst I'm going through it bit by bit, you should always refer back to the record so that you can hear it more in context. Otherwise, it can all get a bit bitty and a bit confusing. So here goes. Here's the solo, the first solo from Comfortably Numb. So the sound I've got is a nice kind of crunchy lead sort of sound with a bit of delay on it. Just a kind of quiet background delay, some reverb, a bit of compression, and I'm actually using a kind of pitch shift to get a chorus sound. You can use a flanger, I think the original is a flanger. Chorusy sound, just a slightly more processed sound than a normal clean lead sound. So yeah, here goes. Okay, so we're raking into the first note, which is an F sharp on the 14th fret on the top string. It's very open to interpretation. Everyone has their own way of doing it. If you slow it down on the record, it's still even hard to hear then, so I wouldn't get too hung up on it. Most people I know just use the D chord to rake into it. It's the first note of the first chord of the solo is a D, so you can use the D to rake into that note. And then that bends up with the second finger. One fret, bend, and back again, and then we're into the chord of A now, and we hit this D and bend up to an E, which is the 15th fret of the second string. I'm using all three fingers to bend there, just to make it a bit easier. So bending up a whole tone. Now we spell out the A chord. See, that is an A chord, much as we have down there, however you like to play it. For the fingering that I use, I've just done the bend with the third finger. I start with the second finger and then cross over with my first and cover both of the next two notes on the third and fourth strings of my first finger. Now Bobby on the other hand does a different version. He goes second finger, first finger, second finger. I find that really hard to do, but whatever's easier for you. It's not necessarily my way or his way that you have to do. If you find your own way that's better, then go for that, but that certainly is easier for me. Second finger, then first finger, and then slide down to hit the D, and that ends the first phrase. The next phrase goes so we're back to this again, raking into the top F sharp, bend it up and back again, same bend as before. Now we're going to walk through the A chord and then sliding down all on one string. But he doesn't pick all the notes, some of them are slid, so that one's picked and that one's picked. The next chord in the sequence is C. We go to the 9th fret on the 3rd string. Bend it up a minor third. And then 11, 9, 7 on the 3rd string. And then again, but this time it's quite useful to have a bit of whammy bar as well to get the sound. Because you can get your vibrato by bending the string like that or using the whammy bar. They're quite different sounds. So after that we've got this phrase. That's the way I tend to finger it, but a very good way of doing it would be like this. So it's another way of getting back to that note, the C chord. So it's a bit of whammy there. Now the final phrase of it, of that section, now again, this is open to interpretation. We're basically getting up to the G. I tend to do this, just a really quick. Some people prefer to go, so raking in. You could do it across a D. Again, when I slowed it down, it's really hard to hear exactly what's going on. I mean, it's fairly muted, so do it however you feel. It's not so important. If you get that rake in, it sounds nice. So we're going. The notes. Basically spelling out a G here. Do a pull off on that one. And then again sliding down this string. Slower. And the very final phrase, that same bend as we did before, all the way up, and then so double bend, just a single tone, and then slide, ending on the A, seventh fret of the fourth string. So that last section is okay, so it's time for the big solo, and first of all I'm going to show you the chords that are going on behind the solo. We're in the 7th fret position, full bar position of B minor for the solo, and the chords that are going on behind are B minor, followed by A, G, that's G, F sharp in the bass as a passing note, E minor, and then back to B minor. So they're the verse chords, and we're going to be playing the solo mainly in this position around the 7th fret blues scale. Only occasionally we're going to get the flat 5 note in there, makes it the blues scale rather than just the pentatonic. Okay, so rather than do the whole thing all at once, I'm going to play it in chunks, and here is the first part. It goes like this. Okay, I'm going to do that slowly now. Before you watch all this, I do suggest you listen to the original quite a few times to get a feel for the whole thing in context. It should make a lot more sense to you if you refer back to that as well during this. So yeah, the slowed down version of that is as follows. It starts with just a power chord on D. You can do it wherever you want. And then the first note is a pinched harmonic. We've got a video on pinched harmonics if you want to learn more about that. Basically it means that we hit the note and then we hit the string with part of our thumb afterwards. So you get a different harmonic, different parts of the string. I do suggest you watch that video. It is very, very good indeed. Okay, so the first note is a pinched harmonic, and I tend to do it just before the middle pickup on the guitar. The bridge pickup is the one that's selected here, with the switch all the way down. So it's nice to get a good harmonic there. Sliding up. So that slide. Big bend up a minor third. You'll need all three fingers probably to get that. Okay, so I'm just going to play that faster and with the next bit added on. So. Okay, carrying on. So the next bit goes. Just to run that again. Moving on, we've got this rake. Raking across the top four strings of the B minor chord. Okay, moving on, I'll play it quickly, then slow it down. Even slower than that. Or you could put that last note on the end. Then we're into slow down. That run down. We're into the next section now. So we've done the rundown. So there's a bit of muting, damping with the right hand. And double stops. Okay, slow down. Next phrase. Slow down. And slower. I use different fingering there. You can do it like that. Or and then the last phrase is just some more of the rhythmic stuff using the double stops on the 7th fret.